All right. So, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for everyone that jumped on this morning. Really appreciate it. And welcome to the Kids Real Estate Financial Literacy Academy, where we empower the youth on the path to financial freedom and real estate mastery. All right. So, it's very important to me. So, just a few things I just want to cover really, really, really quick. If you could, please hold all your questions to the end. And if you have one, there is a chat box that you can just write your question right there in the chat box so you do not forget. And at the end, I plan to answer all questions. All right. Now, this orientation should take anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to run through it, just give you an idea and an overview of what we will be teaching, what the kids will be learning, as well as the expectations of the parents. All right. So with that being said, let's just get started. Okay. So, all right, here we go. So I always like to start off with a quote. All right. So, and this quote right here is one of my favorite quotes. I read it maybe about 3 or 4 times a week because it just means that much to me. All right. So there are two primary choices in life. One, to accept the conditions as they exist, or two, accept the responsibilities of changing them. I want to read that one more time. There's two primary choices in life. One, to accept the conditions as they exist, or two, accept the responsibility of changing them. When I read that quote for the very first time, it meant so much to me. It was super profound because that is exactly what it is. You're either going to accept what you have, or you're going to be the individual that's going to actually change your life, change your plan, change whatever that you want to do. So I read that every maybe about 3 or 4 times a week so I can continue to stay grounded, as well as I'm big on accountability, and be accountable for all of my actions, as well as what I would like to see for my personal future and my family's future. All right. So next, what we have here is just want to show you just a few things that we have done thus far. Right here is just a graduation ceremony. Here are just a few pictures of a few students, and one of the things that I'm most proud of about this moment is that all the kids, at the end, what I had them do is they had to stand in front of all the parents and just raffle off a whole bunch of things that they have learned, as well as what they have learned, as well as they create a vision board for their future, which I will show in a few minutes. And, this was pretty cool as well. Where, this picture right here is where everybody created a vision board because I believe that I had to leave these young men, young women with what their future should look like. And they also stood in front of all the parents and they, let them know exactly what their future, holds, because I'm big on manifesting things. I'm big on, being able to see something and make it tangible. So take something that's in your head because everything starts with a dream, then make it an object, which is the vision board, placing it somewhere, being proud of it, looking at it, really, diving in. And of course, as you mature in life, things changes. But these young men and young women, they really, 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 believe it or not, have a strong vision on what they want to do and where they want to go, and that's super cool, super great, and I personally love it. All right, so I just want to share just a little bit about who I am. All right, one, I was born in North Philadelphia. I am a family man first. So I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm also a grandfather, I'm a brother, and a friend to many. I have an awesome relationship with my Savior. I am an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker. I'm also a real estate investor, graduated from college, and in my previous life, I was the vice president of operations, and I had a staff. Actually, at one time when I left, it was 80, but at one time it was up to 200. I was responsible for well over $1 billion in AR, responsible for ensuring that we collect over 300 million in revenue for our clients. And obviously, I'm an entrepreneur. I also have a podcast. I'm a co-host to a podcast called Find Your Freedom. And what we do is we love to interview other entrepreneurs and we capture their journey. We capture the challenges that they went through to get to where they are and how they resolved them, how they got over them. And we want our audience to know that because the failure is within the journey. And if you can hear someone else's journey and challenges and run into them, then you can relate to someone that we had on our podcast, and maybe they can help you continue to go down your path. I also have a real estate portfolio of just shy of $4 million right now. Now, a question is always asked to me is, why am I doing this? Right? Well, the first word that comes to me is always awareness, right? I just want you to be aware because we don't know what we don't know. All of us as parents, adults, we all tell ourselves the same thing. Man, I really, really, really wish I would have known what I know now when I was younger, right? Because why? You will make sound decisions, you will make better decisions, and you will be so much further down the line than you are today. And that's what I'm here for, right? So I think about dreams because I encourage the youth. I also encourage adults to dream, and then I think about being realistic. All right. And that's super important to me. So I think about my personal journey. I think about me, and I think about, just like I mentioned, hey, what if I was aware of the things that I'm aware of at 30 and 40 versus if I was aware of those same things at as a teenager, right? And coming into my 20s, how to leverage credit, how to um not charge up these credit cards and knowing that you got to pay them back, knowing how to budget, knowing the difference between what's an asset and knowing the difference between what's a liability, and also mindset and personal development. I haven't learned that until my late 20s, early 30s, the things that you're supposed to do, from affirmations to manifesting to getting your network of people right. So these are all the things that I put into this curriculum, and I want to bring to these young men and young women because I want to start them now. It's all about now because look, when they go to tap into something, I want them to sit back and say, you know what? I went through the kids real estate and financial literacy class, and I learned the habits of how to create smart goals. I learned, the habits of how to create a vision board. I learned the habits of where to spend my money on what's important and what's not. I learned the habits of what's good debt versus what's bad debt. I learned the habits of this is an asset versus this is a liability, and so much more. And these are the things that I really, 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 truly just want to make sure that the kids are aware of. Why? Because it will allow them to make better and sound decisions when that time comes. So when they're 18 and they're going to college and all the credit card companies are sending them all these credit cards, and we all been there. We take them and we fill them out and we charge them up. These kids will be much more aware not to do that. And also, I'm in the real estate, so I'm a super fan of it. And I'm gonna give them awareness of real estate, how to look for real estate, how to analyze a deal. What are the terminologies to it? Why? Because, hey, listen, if you don't know anything about the United States, is Uncle Sam has his hand in everything. And the one thing that you want to do is legally, right? Legally, you want to make sure that you pay as less taxes as possible. And that's only two ways. One is by employing people, and the second way is by ensuring that you provide affordable housing, which is basically real estate. And that's just one of the things that I want these kids to know. Also, man, if you look at any successful person and you look at their portfolio, they have a large part of their portfolio is real estate. And I want these kids to be aware of that, because the best time to buy, is now. And the next best time to buy is tomorrow. And I want them to know this. I want them to be aware of this, right? So this is why I'm here. These are some of the things that I'm bringing, along with some of the things I'm going to mention, later on. So these are just some of the reasons why, as well as these things are not being taught in your traditional school systems. You can't learn assets versus liabilities, right? You can't learn what's good debt versus bad debt. You're not going to learn, how to write smart goals and how to achieve them and how to make them measurable and specific, and put a time frame to them. These are the things that the schools are not teaching, not knocking the schools, but they're just not teaching these things. And if they can get these things early today, then they'd be just much better when they get a little older in the future and ready to rock and roll. All right. So I just want to go through just a little bit of the course overview. All right. So week one, which this is going to probably change around according to how I do the class, but in general, these are the things I will be teaching. So week one would be mindset and affirmations. All right. I'm not going to go through everything, but it's just basically an introduction to, mindset, positive thinking. I'm huge on I am statements. I have my son, he has to read 10, he got 10 affirmations on his wall, in his bedroom. And I also drew a picture of his hand. So after he reads these 10 affirmations, he gives himself a high five every morning. And I'm a strong believer of setting your day the right way. And it all starts here. Now, everything that I'm going to be teaching is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But if your mind is not where it needs to be, the other things will not even be a factor. So mindset is really huge. I will be teaching that, right? Obviously, I'm going to be teaching the basics of real estate terminology. We're going to talk about the four ways of how you make money in real estate. I'm going to show them how to analyze a deal. We also do all different types of role play. I got, fake money and I got games, I got scripts, for us to do, which is going to be cool. They love it. We also talk about assets and liabilities as well as credit. I'll tell them what credit is. I tell them how important it is. I tell them what's the best way to utilize credit. What's the difference between buying something that's an asset or buying something that's a liability? I also talk about, bad debt versus good debt. Also, how to leverage your credit. So these are just some of the things that I'm just gonna be bringing to the table for all these kids. And then what's really cool is we build a business. And one of the things about building a business, and this is cool, all the kids love it, is big time role playing because some of them are owners, some of them are employees, some of them are customers, and I don't do any teaching. Honestly speaking, none, zero, zilch. All I do is provide a script for all the kids to read. So everybody get a script. The employee get a script. The owner, the customers, they get money and they work through the script. And then afterwards, it's just nothing but a big Q&A session for them to understand how the real world works. I just ask them general questions. How does this make you feel? What did you think about this? And you will be shocked on some of the things that they say after they understand how money get transacted, how employees get paid, how owners get paid, how customers pay, and how the real world works. And we build that business just so they can understand that and get a clearer and better idea. And that's super fun to me. Also, I teach them SMART goals, how to create them. All right. And what SMART means. All right. And most importantly, we do a vision board at the end. Why? Because you need to know where you are going. I always sit there and say this when you drive a car, right, as adults, you always have a destination. There's never a time you just get in the car and just drive. Well, guess what? That should be your life. Every single time you wake up, you should have a purpose on what you're doing with your day. And that's where your vision board and your SMART goals, all of that ties in to ensure that you achieve the things that you are looking to achieve. And that's a little bit of just the overview of what we're going to be teaching at the academy. All right. So just talk about the venue where we're going to be held at. So this one will be held at the Cherry Hill Library in the multicultural room. It's going to be located downstairs. All right. So the event dates are December 9th, 16th, and 23rd. And then we're going to end on the 26th, I'm sorry, the 6th of January, where, that's where the kids also going to present their vision board. They're going to present and tell you all the things that they learned, as well as they're going to sit here and I'm going to graduate them. They're going to get a certificate of completion, which they love, which is really cool, and a few other things, which I'll mention a little later in the presentation. The times for this one is going to be between 10:15 and 12:45. All right. And they're going to be 4 sessions and the dates are above. Once again, December 9th, 16th, 23rd, and January the 6th. All right. And just a couple expectations for the kids. All right. So obviously it's going to be active participation all the time. Look, they're kids. They're going to be there for a couple hours. I'm a high energy guy. I have a way and I got a secret sauce on making sure I keep their attention, which I talk about a little bit just a little later. Um, open-minded, open-mindedness and willingness to learn, respect for peers, instructors, and the learning environment, which is super important to me. All right. And one of my secret sauces here is I have this point system, which keep them engaged. Okay. So they get points for asking questions, right? For just asking a question, being brave enough to raise their hand and say, I have a question. You get a point, right? Obviously, you get a point for being good. You get a point for answering the question correctly, but I also deduct points as well. Okay. I deduct points for people who are not raising their hand and talking out of turn, people yelling out, answers, being disrespectful, not being fair. So points are being um deducted from them at that point in time. And what that does is, honestly speaking, it just keeps them in line because now they know, oh my God, if I continue to not, if I continue to just blab out answers and not raise my hand, then obviously I'm going to lose points. So you will hear the kids potentially might say, Mom or Dad, guess what? I lost some points today. Might be upset about it. I don't know, but it rarely happens. All right. So with that being said, the points are candy, just to let you know. So they get this brown paper bag and I give them candy in their brown paper bag. They're not to eat the candy in class, but they're more than welcome to take the candy home. All right. Now, what happens is the person or the kid with the most points at the end of the fourth class wins a prize. Okay. Now this is big, all right, because this is big on accountability and responsibility. And I want the parents to make sure that you don't pay no part in this because they get a brown paper bag, and every day that they're there, they at the end of the class, they count up their points. They have to write it on their bag, okay? And they have to take their bag home with them. And this is where the accountability comes in. And they have to bring their bag back with them, right? That's where you got to let them be. Now, if they don't bring their bag with them, guess what? They lose those points for that day. And all these things are going to be explained to the kids. I'm going to encourage them. It's going to be super important. So I just want you to be aware of that I am adding some accountability and responsibility with the kids, which is pretty simple. They're gonna get a packet, they're gonna get a book, they're gonna get some pens, they're gonna get some markers, and all those things they're gonna take with them, and they have to be responsible themselves to make sure that they bring them back. Right? And just expectation for the kids, just to let you know, I'm sorry, expectation for the parents. It's drop the kids off on time, so you can go out, if you can go on a hot date if you want for a couple hours, or go to dinner, go to lunch, go to breakfast, or you can run some errands, or just have some me time or do whatever you want to do. But you could drop them off for those couple hours. And of course, pick them up on time, right? Just being respectful for everyone's time. As I mentioned, there's going to be 4 weeks of classes there. And, also ask the kids questions. So, when you pick your kid up, ask them questions about the class. And just like with any kid, we all know they all just give you this one word answer, or they tell you they didn't learn anything. So I'm going to provide you with some specific questions that you can ask the kids so you can know that they're picking up, things while they're here. All right. So that's very important to me. Also, snacks will be provided, just to let you know. So I'm going to need to know if there's any kids that's allergic to anything. It's really important. And also, you're going to have to sign just a release form, obviously, because we're going to record the class. We want to use it for our marketing as well as use it for promotional use on social media. All right. Now, here's some educational outcomes, right? Obviously, one of the things is they're going to gain a huge foundation in real estate and financial management, which is huge. They're going to learn the value of credit, how to use it, and how to be responsible with it, and a bunch of other things. And what's big for me is the power of positive mindset. And, one of the things that a lot of people don't have, even as adults, is boosting that confidence. In my mindset, segment, I teach them ways of boosting their confidence because we have a big, huge confidence issue here, as adults, and confidence is stopping a lot of people from really achieving their dreams. And I don't want that for the kids. I want them to be highly confident within themselves, but most importantly, when things get tough, they know the things to do to get their confidence back up, right? Which is super important. Also, to be able to distinguish between assets and liabilities, which is very important, and develop just a practical skill set in setting smart goals, creating a vision board, which is also important. So, just to recap, just a little bit here. Once again, I take in kids ages, 10 to 12. I'm sorry, starting at 10, right? Starting at 9. And middle schoolers, high schoolers, and college kids. All right. The location, once again, is going to be in the Cherry Hill Library, in the multicultural room, which is downstairs. The dates are December 9th, 16th, 23rd, and January the 6th, 2024. The times are between 10:15 a.m. and 12:45 p.m. Once again, there will be 4 training sessions there. And just a little bit here. So, to enroll your kid, really simple. All you have to do is go to journeytosuccessbrand.com/enroll. So you have to go right there. All right. Now the price is $497 a kid. However, for a special offer, we're reducing that price from $497 to $197 for a limited time. We are only taking a limited amount of kids. We have probably about 5 kids signed up right now, and we are looking to sign up another about 5 to 6 more kids. So if you're interested, now is the perfect time. Once again, just go to that journey to successbrand.com/enroll. Really simple, really easy. You know, um, and I will get in contact with everyone with the next steps. And excuse me, go to journey to success brand.com/enroll. All right. So with that being said, this is the Q&A session. So I encourage every last one of you to ask any and all questions. Feel free to raise your digital hand or feel free to just come on board and ask any questions that you may have. So once again, once you want to enroll your kid at journeytosuccessbrand.com/enroll. If you have any additional questions later or want just something, just want to reach out to me, I can be contacted at Lenny the Boss at Journey to Success, journeytosuccessbrand.com. All right. So if anyone has a question, please feel free to come off of mute and ask your question.
We don't have any questions, Leonard. Oh, there you go.
I see a hand raised. You got a question?
Coach, hey, it's Sebastian's dad. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Just a quick question. How late do you have to sign up? I know he's got basketball, so we want to make sure his schedule's open for those times. How late do we have to sign up? What's the time?
Yeah, well, as of right now, it's available, until we fill up the class. So,
Okay.
so obviously the first class starts on the 9th.
Okay.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. Awesome. Anyone else with any questions? Sometimes when no one asks any questions, I say to myself, did I do that good? Did I answer everybody's question? Or, so ask away. Like now is the time. I'm really passionate about this. I actually have just to add to this, I didn't add, but I do have mentoring classes for adults. I have a mindset, a mentoring program. I also have a program where I teach real estate. I teach them how to find, fund, and manage any long-term rentals or short-term rentals. So I just took what I knew and I put it into a format that's going to be acceptable for the age group. It's fun, it's super interactive, the time fly past. I'm very interactive with the kids, and like I said, I'm high energetic in the way that I kind of get them to tune in because truth be told is they're young men, they're young women. It's going to be on a Saturday. They probably won't be, highly wanting to be there. But when they get there, It's a networking opportunity. They get to sit here and meet people that they never met before potentially. Also, it's a opportunity, to learn, some of the things, and they find it fun. So I make it fun, and it's very enjoyable. All right. So I ask anyone if there's any additional questions. All right, great. So once again, to enroll, just go to journeytosuccessbrand.com/enroll. So you can take a screenshot of that, or you can sit there and write that down. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to email me at lennytheboss@journeytosuccessbrand.com. Other than that, I think that's it. I give one opportunity. Any last questions?
No, it sounds really cool. We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic, awesome.
No
I know your kid
question.
signed up, right? You signed up.
Yeah, we're signed up and he has a friend signed up and we're waiting on actually four other people because Jeffrey signed up and he's waiting on two people and we're waiting on two people. So everybody sounds like they're interested, but Jeffrey and Oscar already signed up.
Boom, boom, boom. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great. And
Coach, great stuff. Thank you.
thank you. I'm also recording this. So what I do is I'm going to just share the recording with you. So if someone's interested or want to know a little more, you could just share the recording with them as well.
Okay.
Thanks again. And everybody enjoy their day. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Coach.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.